These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Hollywood, I ain't asking for much. No, I said, Lord, take me downtown. I'm just looking for some tush.
These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Welcome, everyone. It is episode number 19 of America's Barley Basket. I am your host, Marlin Wells, alongside other host Nathan Fulsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlin.
How are you, bud?
You know, it's this pretty good, man. Listen to this. It's all about the little things, Marlin. I sound like I'm like a paid spokesperson for something you're selling. I just want to let people know I just got back from Burger King, and I ordered 2 double cheeseburgers.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 double cheeseburgers.
Oh, snap.
Only paid for 2. I kind of feel like now I understand the Garth Brooks song Unanswered Prayers. Wasn't expecting it. God just realized I needed to pick me up, a little extra, little beefy boy goodness.
Yeah, because when I think of pick-me-up, I think a
third cheeseburger.
Hamburger.
Bro, I tossed the buns out the window. I'm getting fucking cut. Got that V body that everyone's looking for. Frankly, it's more like a capital U body. It's going to be a V. It's going to be a lowercase V.
It's a U for the moment, but you'll get there. You'll get that file down to a point. Get that good Michael Landon body.
Chiseled from hard work.
Any day now. You keep up with all these bunless burgers, and you're gonna go from Hoss to Little Joe in a real hurry.
Throwing them out the window, landing on other people's windshields. I'm very flamboyant with my bun disposal.
I don't doubt that.
I roll the window down and scream, "Get it out of here!" and I flick it.
I'm sure you make a real show of it.
It's a very, very showy hand gesture.
You're a showman, Nathan. I know you.
I live a showman's life.
You do. There's a pomp to your existence.
The only part of the showman's life I live is a lot of truck stop dining. Gas station snacks.
Yeah, a lot of corn nuts.
Yeah. Sometimes you go through Walmart and you see what you're paying for Coca-Cola and what they're offering Coca-Cola for vastly different prices. A 2-liter for 75 cents. I pay $4 for a 20-ounce bottle.
That's them gas station prices.
But it's cold.
And you're not going into the city to go to a fucking Walmart.
True.
You're stopping at a fucking Casey's because it's right by the side of the road.
Yep, and you're sad.
You're getting Petro-Serve hot ham and cheeses and Powerade to make you feel like an athlete.
Yeah, because carbs, the lack of carbs is really my issue.
Yeah, that's what it is. You just don't have enough oomph.
Yeah. I don't have enough fuel. Remember All Sport?
Fuck yeah, I remember All Sport. It was like Gatorade but fizzy.
Yeah, that was what I was just going to ask. Was it carbonated? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like very lightly. It wasn't like a Coca-Cola or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a sports drink with carbonation in it. Which, that's just pop. That's marketing.
It's just a trash pop at that point, yeah.
Yeah, but always fruit flavors because it tried to swim in that athlete's pool, and I love me a fruit-flavored pop. You give me a pineapple Fanta or a strawberry Crush, I'm a happy boy.
Fascinating. See, I was always a non-fruit cola or fruit soda person.
Oh, man, like a grape soda, a strawberry, an orange.
Oh, boy, yeah. No.
Ooh.
I'll take a Diet Sunkist if it's ice cold. That's where I draw the line. I'm a pop elitist.
Give it to me raw, baby.
Room temp on the dash of a car.
Put that pineapple Fanta right in my eyes.
Any head hole will do. You know what else we talk about on this besides fruit-flavored beverages, Marlin?
What's that, Nathan?
We occasionally talk about The Simpsons.
Aha! Sometimes.
Occasionally. We can give it a try. Let me see how it feels. Yeah.
You want to give it a shot today? We're both here.
I think I'm ready.
Well, I mean, we're not here like we were last week. We're not in person this time.
I'm
we're
not
working
touching
remotely
you physically.
again.
I'm not touching. Yeah, I've stolen enough articles of your clothing. I've built the proximity of you. Sometimes I talk. Sometimes I sleep with. Sometimes I like to co-sleep with the pretend Marlin.
That's where all my sleeveless Kiss T-shirts have gone. Damn it!
I enjoy them very much. We're in season 5. Does that sound right?
We are. We're trucking along.
Sometimes I'm like, did they make 5 seasons of The Simpsons? But they did. They just got over that line.
Yep, they just barely made it.
Yeah, we're in the meaty goodness of the Simpsons sandwich. We're in those prime cut years. We're not eating any shoulder. We're not at the ground chuck point of the aughts yet. We're still in the good stuff.
All prime, no canners.
Yeah. And we're up to episode 11, which is Homer the Vigilante. So a crime wave hits Springfield. The Springfield cat burglar, very elusive, is raising all sorts of hell in the fair city of Springfield. Lisa loses her sax. Bart loses the mini TV. I think Marge loses her pearls.
From around her neck, yep.
Whatever.
I didn't know pearls were orange, but...
Yeah, just going to say, I don't know precious stones or whatever pearls fall under, so who am I to judge? But the Simpsons are past. Springfield is past. And they need justice. They need retribution. I do like that Bart gets mocked for having a stamp collection.
Yep, I wrote that down as well, because as we have talked about before, that was a badge of popularity where you came from for a hot minute.
Very peculiar, yeah. And I just love those moments where Marge is an asshole. Because she's always on the right side of history. But every once in a while, she's a real prick.
Yep. Every once in a while, she gets in on the dog pile. I love that Lisa has a moment there where she says, Bart's pain is funny, but mine isn't.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, that's dark, too, for Lisa. Yeah. Yep. So, again, the whole city's getting hit with this. And, also Barney, which I love. Anytime we get a glimpse into the personal life of Barney Gumble, I am for it.
Yeah.
And if you notice, he steals everything. And I mean, why? What kind of maniac wants to steal Barney's underwear?
Or his cinder block shelving.
Yeah. Could you imagine what those underwear smell like?
Oh God!
Does not take care of himself.
No, there's a real sour tinge to those underwear.
And I love too how the city gets just completely locked into this crime wave, and they're all paranoid. The sign in front of on the door of the Quickie Mart reads, "We're never open," which I got a big kick out of that. Nope, we're never open.
Yep, and Apu is on the roof with a rifle.
Yeah. Probably shades of the LA riots at this time.
Oh, sure, could be.
Yeah.
This came out the first week of '94.
So yeah, this is just a couple years, year and a half after that. Yeah.
Yeah. People are extremely on edge during all this.
Yeah, very much so.
My favorite, we haven't seen him enough to where I even know his name, but the real nerdy scientist, who develops the running house, and then you get to see one in action.
Yeah.
As it runs down the street and then collapses and bursts into flames.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if that guy has a name yet, but I've got a hunch we keep seeing him pop up as we go through it.
Yeah. And
the cops, as always, are laughably ineffective at this job.
Because of course they are. Mayor Quimby sucks, and so does Chief Wiggum. They're this perfect two-headed dumb snake.
Yeah. There's kind of a comforting reliability to their ineptitude. They're shitty. They're going to be shitty. Just plan your life around it. So that's what they kind of do. They start a vigilante. They form a posse almost. Homer wants to kind of. Well, originally they don't go with Homer. They're going to go with Ned. I think Ned gathers them all.
Yeah, just to do, and I feel like his intentions were pure of maybe we should have a neighborhood watch.
Yep.
Before, stop me if you've heard it before, but before Springfield's mob mentality really gets a hold of them.
Yeah, boy, they love a good mob. My word.
They do.
And Grandpa Simpson and his cohorts, they want to be part of the solution too, but they are loudly told, old people are useless.
Yeah. And I love that Grandpa's like him pleading their cases. Come on, don't you remember who ran out the Irish in '06 or '04?
Yeah. But it's like, how old is Grandpa?
Yeah, apparently he was running out Irish people in 1904. So
90 years prior.
Yep. And he had to have been at least in his late teens at that point.
One would think to properly scare off an Irish community.
Yeah, you
better be fully grown. And just like when you get a bunch of guys together that are dumb as shit and they gotta protect something, they all get guns that they do not know how to use.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, exactly. One of the few things get under my skin more than people with guns, even if it's not a gun they own, they're just borrowing it, that don't know how to handle it. Like, they're just casually walking around with the barrel facing everyone. It's like, put that down, you fucking idiot. Like,
First off, you don't need that in this coffee shop. Secondly, learn
shit.
what you're doing first.
Yeah, I know you think you've jerked off to enough fucking, Soldier of Fortune videos on YouTube that somehow makes you ready to. No, you're not. Take a hunter safety class, you fucking knucklehead. Oof.
Right, fucking morons.
Hot takes. Hot takes. We're only in the first episode.
It's just like seeing someone who can't fucking drive, except way more dangerous.
Yeah, someone that can't drive that has like a sports car or a giant truck or something like that. It's like, start with a Chevy Cavalier, you fucking,
Yeah, start with something you don't mind dinging up a little.
Yeah, that you're not going to destroy a family. You're going to destroy one person, but maybe not the whole family. And another awesome thing about this ragtag group of idiots is all the random-ass military uniforms they have.
Yeah, just a real shotgun approach to their uniforms.
There's like one guy's got like a World War I spiked German helmet. And there's like one Skinner's got a beret of some sort on. Like,
and like a uniform with a ton of awards pinned on the front of it.
Yeah. I wonder if that wasn't a Saddam Hussein shot out. That's kind of what I'm thinking now.
Yeah, that did look like Saddam Hussein's uniform, didn't it?
Yeah.
I really like that they go on like a shopping spree at the military surplus store, which we haven't seen in a while.
That guy. Yeah, that's like early season 1 wasn't that first made an appearance. And one thing that reminded me of too, like, all the random ragtag like uniforms, military stuff. Did you ever have the Sportsman's Guide catalog in your home growing up?
It sounds familiar. That was probably a thing, yeah.
There was no better bathroom reading than a Sportsman's Guide. A Sportsman's Guide was just some dude that had an Eastern European connection that would just hook him up with the silliest shit. Like, we got 10,000 waffle irons from the Red Czech army of the late 70s. If you want them, I'll give you a good price. So that month, they'd be on the front cover. Hey, who doesn't like a good waffle?
I love a good waffle. I mean, sign me up.
Mismatch Bulgarian mittens. It was always Eastern Bloc. That's what I loved about it.
Bulgarian mittens is my favorite little known Southeast wrestler.
I'm trying to think what his thing would be. Is he a tough guy? Is he a scary foreigner?
It's Southeast American pro wrestling, so easily it's scary foreigner. Yeah.
Someone from Nevada is a scary foreigner in Southeast wrestling. Wait a second, Mountain Time. I don't know about the boo. What do you mean 2 hours behind us? Boo!
Why are you behind us? What are you planning? Boo!
Yeah. Quit following.
Boy, there's a lot of cigarette smoke in this armory.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got to experience for like one winter when I lived in Nashville the joys of late 90s, early aughts indie wrestling, and it was like a mix of up-and-comers, a mix of never-beens, and then they'd march out one or two has-beens.
On the way back down, yeah.
Yep. Oh, man, I saw a very sad Yokozuna. It was him leaning into the turnbuckles, and a guy would run up to him, and he would just chest chop him until finally he fell on them and the match was mercifully over.
Man, I don't like Yokozuna being sad.
Nope. I saw a Tatanka after his brief but memorable run in the WWF, and there was an amazing Marilyn Manson ripoff where the elderly women would stand up and scream at him like he was the devil. Like they would tremble. It's like, oh man, now I know why wrestling was so big here, because these fuckers buying this shit. You know, like. I just remember watching an elderly woman point and trembling, and her voice was quivering. She's like, just kept screaming, "You're the devil," over and over again. And which she was frightened out of her mind of this pimply, 180-pound, probably worked at a fucking Meineke somewhere, fucking changing tires part-time when he wasn't taking bumps for $40 a weekend.
Yep. Getting paid in hot dogs.
Yeah. This lady thinks he lives off human blood.
Yeah, wrestling in that area of the country is
God
popular
bless
for a reason.
I love that they love wrestling. I hate that they vote. If they could just... I need to start a wrestling league and have the biggest pay-per-view be on that Tuesday every other year.
Keep them in the stands and out of the lines. Yep.
Yeah. The Great American Starcade, best of both worlds.
No booths, just seats.
Yeah. Yeah, man, look at you. It took me a second to pick up on that.
Yeah.
Clever.
I missed my calling. I really did.
Yeah, you could have been a sideshow barker for mid-level wrestling in the 20th century in the southeast United States. Yeah. That is specific. That's tough to explain to a guidance counselor.
Real specific. Yeah. You opened a lot of folders to get to that file.
Yeah. So Homer has let power go to his head like he does whenever he gets a taste of it, and they're more like a roving gang of bullies at this point, like just kind of doing what they want, making decisions and dealing with consequences later. And then Grandpa, because again they're not getting anything accomplished because again Homer is adult, and Grandpa saves the day by mentioning he noticed that there's a very eloquent man in the retirement home that fits the description of the Springfield cat burglar. So they're like, oh shit, this is it. And they go catch him. He goes without any kind of fight. If I'm remembering this correctly? I watched this just 18 hours ago, so it's not very fresh.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I think all the bunless patties are not doing your brain any favors.
Yeah. Got that beef. I'm ODing on beef. So much gristle. Power through.
Nathan's got the gristle brain.
Yeah. My bi-monthly dump is coming up. I have to be in top form.
Oh no, that's not often enough, Nathan.
Just 3.5 foot rope, black as night. Someone burn off one of those novelty fireworks snakes in here? Nope, that's a human's digestive tract. Oh, I don't like that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And they lock him up, and he reveals that he has buried the treasure under a big T, I think. So they are, because again, they're complete animals. They're ripping their own city apart to find this treasure. And they find it only to reveal a note that explains that there is no treasure. I have it with me right now. I just use this to give myself time to escape from your pathetic jail. So
yep, and he's out.
This is one of those episodes where it's like, yep, Springfield's shitty, and then everyone smiles and goes back to their homes.
Yep, everyone just packs it in. Like, oh, well, that was that, I guess.
I think there's kind of like a reference to a thing I didn't quite get when they were all leaving to try find the loot. Was that like Mad World, where some of them are like on a plane, some of them are on a boat, some of them are this
maybe.
and that. Yeah.
I've never seen that, but...
Me either, yeah.
Yeah, it's... They definitely, the whole town... runs out to go get this treasure.
Yeah.
That isn't there. During the scene of them digging it up, though, we do get a quick shot of jacked groundskeeper Willie.
Yep.
So
Yeah, very good point. Yeah.
Always appreciate one of those.
Yeah. I thought it was a fine episode. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, but, again, they're all good at this point. I'm laughing in all of them at some point.
Yeah, there's plenty of good stuff in there. There's a scene where Homer steals Bart's bullhorn, but it plays a rap instrumental underneath it, like this rap master bullhorn, and people are dancing, and he's like, "No, go home," and they're all dancing.
Kind of like an MC Hera or MC Hammer era beat. Yeah.
MC Hera is my favorite hip hop Greek god.
I'm just gonna say, talking about covering a lot of bases.
Real specific.
If you love rap and Greek mythology, you'll love MC Hera.
Sam Neill, the voice of Malloy, the cat burglar in that one.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
I could not. I guess it shows what kind of chameleon actor that Sam Neill is. I didn't even know.
Sam Neill can do anything he good and goddamn well pleases, I think.
Oh,
Jurassic Park, Event Horizon, other films, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, In the Mouth of Madness, a mid-'90s John Carpenter movie.
I haven't seen that, but I do like a lot of H.P. Lovecraft stories, so I should probably see that one.
It's ooky spooky.
I believe there's I believe there's one of those with Nick Cage on its way out.
Yes. More Nick Cage at all times.
I'm with you on that. Give me the Cage, and I want the Cage to be as Nick Cagey as possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't try to rein him in.
I want Bad Lieutenant Nick Cage all the time.
How many islands does he have left to pay off? Because he's still not saying no to anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many taxes are left.
Yeah.
Did he buy another weird pyramid grave in New Orleans?
Just, someone made him a good deal on a pillowcase full of human toes. I need to own that.
He's like, well, I need another T-Rex skull, so my T-Rex skull has a friend.
The other one, I let it sit outside. Now it's full of melted Hershey's Kisses. Can't get the hornets away from it.
Oh, God bless him.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the Nick Cage pickup truck in Fargo? We've had to have discussed this, right?
I'm sorry, what? No?
Sit back, unbutton your pants, whatever you got to do to get comfortable.
I'm way ahead of you.
Thank you. I thought so. My friend is pulling into Hobby Lobby. I don't know what he had to pick up. I didn't press him. I didn't want to make him feel on the spot because he called me very excited about this. He's like, hey, because I answered, he's like, did you get a text? I'm like, yeah, but I'm on the phone. It's like, oh no, man, check your messages. So while on the phone, I check. It is like a early aughts full-size Dodge Ram, I think, with a, I don't know, 1.5 foot by 3 foot poster of Nick Cage, like laminated onto the tailgate. And the license plates, I think, are Cage Fan. And it's Nick Cage from like the end of Con Air with the long hair and the sleeveless white tee. And this is not done ironically. My friend staked it out. I was like, I can't remember the details, but this was not a punk 15-year-old that decided to ruin their grandfather's truck. Like, this is someone that needed to let the world know how much they appreciate Nick Cage.
Awesome. Perfect.
I will send you the picture. I feel like I've cheated you on not giving you this picture yet.
Yeah, I can't believe we've been friends this whole time, or so I thought.
Reevaluate some things.
I just yesterday watched a trailer for a new Nick Cage film called Jiu-Jitsu, in which he sword fights an alien. And I'm like,
perfect.
Yep,
Thank you.
Keep them coming, baby.
I've been waiting. This keeps me up at night. Who would win?
I am on board for every bit of Cage craziness. Episode 12. Man, I wonder if Nick Cage ever shows up on The Simpsons. Anyway,
oh, please. Had to have, right?
He had to have, right?
Yeah.
Episode 12. Bart Gets Famous. This one that I liked quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And we got to see adult Lisa instead of just adult Bart fairly early on in this episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Bart's going on a field trip. He's all excited, rubbing it in Lisa's face. And then it turns out, rather than going on a good field trip, they go to the box factory to see how cardboard boxes are made.
Few things crueler than a bad field trip, because it's just you're so excited, and then it's like, no, worse than school.
This is what we're doing?
Yeah. Ugh.
I think we went on a field trip to, like, the state capitol once, and then maybe the Bismarck Zoo on the same day, because if you're going to make a trip, you're going to make a day out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember having fun, but I'm pretty positive that's the one field trip we ever took in school.
They got the one bus running good enough to trust it out of city limits. They gave you a big long list of supplies to pick up.
Hey, bring back part of the field trip was having to stop at Walmart and buy a bunch of school supplies.
Barter with these seeds. We need insulin. God, do we need insulin?
Thought it was weird we brought a young foal on the bus with us, but it was for trading.
Yeah, I was going to say bringing young women to trade for livestock that are ready to leave the farm.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah. There wasn't much more romance in it than that.
I'd have probably flipped my shit if we'd have gone to a box factory. And been like, look at these machines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, do you think there's someone in there? No, my curious young friend.
No, there's gears and everything.
Like a bicycles? I guess, yes.
Wow, everyone just all at once.
Yeah. So can you ride these machines? Well, not. I mean, I guess you could climb up. Oh, we can climb! Oh,
look at that big gear turns. They don't got a donkey tied to it or nothing.
Yeah. Jenkins, turn the hose on them.
Comes time for lunch, they just got a cooler of dirt in the back of the bus.
Someone got dressed down at a corporate meeting for letting kids from Mountain Time show up.
We were on Mountain Time.
You know how they were raised.
Oh, God.
They see a hole their hands will fit, they'll shove their hands in it.
And we did. A lot of manglings.
Yeah.
So they go to the box factory. Bart sneaks away from the tour group because, of course, he does, because he's Bart. And he saw earlier that the TV studio where they film Krusty the Clown is right across the street from the box factory. So he sneaks away when he gets a chance and runs into Krusty, who doesn't remember him at all. And there's a great bit of Bart explaining, like, I'm the one who made sure you didn't go to jail. Don't you remember we just had that big comeback special?
Yeah.
Like, runs down all the times they've already bumped into each other in the first 5 seasons.
I enjoy how shitty Krusty is.
Yeah, I kind of like that he's a dirtbag.
Yeah. One thing I'll say, too, during this meeting, during this shitty field trip, we see a very bored Mrs. Krabappel. We're overdue for a more Krabappel-centric episode. I love Mrs. Krabappel.
We haven't seen, like, an unchained Mrs. Krabappel in a while now, so I was thinking back to, like, that Flamin' Moe's episode might have been the last one. Just
very
her in
good
a
point.
tube
Good
top,
catch.
cutting loose. Like, oh, I do love her. So Bart becomes Krusty's new assistant, which he's initially excited about, and then it turns out that job sucks because
because Krusty sucks.
Yeah, because Krusty's awful. So he's like cleaning Krusty's toilet and like running fucking errands. He's got a cell phone on him that goes off during class. Like, Krusty, I'll come take care of it.
I love how he signs Krusty's autographs for them in broad daylight. Like, people are in line getting Krusty autographs.
Yep,
and
in
Bart's doing
front
it.
of the people getting Krusty's sitting off to the side, just smoking.
Yeah.
While Bart fakes his autograph. Yeah, that was a funny bit. Bart gets what finally feels like a glimmer of daylight because Krusty's going to put him in a sketch since Bart accidentally gave Sideshow Mel a sandwich with cheese on it, and Sideshow Mel's lactose intolerance didn't agree with him. So now Bart's going to be in this sketch. All he has to do is like come out and say one line and get pelted with pies for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And his line is, "I didn't do it." And as he's coming through the door, he trips over something and like demolishes, knocks down the whole set, and then delivers his line of, "I didn't do it," which the crowd loved.
Oh, yeah. It's a hit.
And wouldn't you know it, the boy's got himself a catchphrase. He's got, then Bart has his own "get her done."
Yeah. There's a lot of like, hey, hey, wink, wink, nod, nod, like, because this is what The Simpsons is right now. Yeah.
Yep. It's real good. They get pretty meta with a lot of these.
Yeah. There's some great gags when they're like, when he gets his brief time of fame, when he's just in that like tented booth thing, and it's like, meet the I didn't do it kid.
Yeah.
For like just
for
them
$5.
In. Yeah. He says I didn't do it and they leave, which is so great.
Yeah. Like that's all it takes, I guess.
You ever been to a freak show type thing like that? Was it the Shady Circus ever come to your neck of the woods?
No, and like you would think that we would have like a Dust Bowl Carnival tent coming through, but no, never a freak show, never a carnival, never anything like that.
Yeah, we had a couple over the years.
Really?
And, in Botno, it was the weirdest thing. Like, in one time, they couldn't get the elephant through Border Patrol, through customs. So, in what sounds like an amazing sitcom premise, the local groundskeeper had to take care of a fucking elephant at our county fairgrounds for like 3 months. Which I am guessing was like a 10-hour video of Flounder trying to deal with that horse in what's it called, Animal House. Like, he is a very, very naughty elephant.
Man, can you imagine being that poor groundskeeper at the fairgrounds?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, I guess we could, what's the other option? Let it go?
Yeah, let it. You can't like put it in with somebody's cattle. Like, hey, can you also watch after this elephant for a while? Although that also would be a good sitcom premise.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Elephant Rancher.
And I like to think that like they won each other's respect. They were kind of pals at the end. Like,
yeah, I assume so. As he's feeding him whole heads of lettuce.
Yeah, when that circus finally came through with the proper forged documents.
There's a tearful goodbye.
Yeah. I mean,
the elephant's crying and hugs him with his trunk. Oh, man.
Trying to convince it to climb in the back of an S10 Chevy. It's like, you guys are driving to Ontario.
And it is winter.
I don't think those axles will hold.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's January.
The most mind-blowing part about that whole thing is that you guys' county fairgrounds had a designated groundkeeper. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was
Hollywood.
Yeah, I think it's like a weed eat once every 2 weeks type. What it's like, someone's got an elephant's got a voracious appetite.
Man, that would have been like, I didn't see an elephant until I was like, I'm gonna say 28.
Oh, interesting.
Before I saw an elephant in person and was not impressed. I'm like, nope, you keep that terrifying animal over there.
My hometown has a long, sordid history with elephants. When I was like 4 or 5, yet another circus came to town. And it was, I don't know if it was the weather or there was something happened, but they put it in our high school gymnasium. And they had free elephant rides for the kids. And I remember, like, even at that age, I don't think elephants should walk on basketball courts.
No, not at all.
I just remember being crammed on the back of an elephant with 7 other sweaty 5-year-olds. It's like it got like a very unpleasant walk around the basketball court on that elephant's back. And that court was jacked up for 30 years. They just replaced. Like my entire high school career, that court had like dips in it from where an elephant stepped. Yeah,
because you guys put an elephant on your basketball court.
Yeah, I like that. I just hope no one even hesitated. Circus, the gym, why not?
Oh, we got to buy our kids separate pairs of shoes for the gym so they don't scuff it, but you'll put a fucking elephant in there.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
God. See, when I finally saw an elephant, I was like probably 28, working at a rock radio station, doing a fucking, hey, come to the circus, like broadcasting live for 2 hours at the Fargo Dome. And then afterwards it was like, hey, when the show starts, do you want to come out on an elephant and you can welcome everyone to the show? And I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking do that.
Oh, why not? Why?
I don't like heights. This thing doesn't smell good. It doesn't look like pleasant to touch. It looks like old man bottom of the feet skin, except all over. I don't want anything to do with this.
Man, and there's an alternate universe where that happens, and I am happier than a pig in shit during it. Seeing a tense Marlin on the back of an elephant trying to welcome a crowd of gross people at a gross event.
Hey.
Welcome, shitheads.
Hey, everybody, you're going to see some people on a fucking trapeze do some flippy bullshit, and here's an elephant. Everything smells vaguely like shit. These animals aren't treated well. Enjoy your fucking popcorn, you idiots. And then just ride out of there.
Scott, funny, speaking of popcorn, when I was a little kid at one of the third circus I went to, what was going on? Like, it's like this Botno on the Shady Circus Underground Railroad or something.
You're on the circuit.
Yeah.
The circus circuit.
They probably leave one of the ducts open on the elevator so you can steal grain so you can feed the animals at night.
I love that you have so many circuses to choose from. Like, there's one other one. They left an elephant in our town.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This one was held at the college gymnasium. And I remember
they didn't learn?
Yeah, begging my mom because they promised that for $5 you could get this popcorn box full of treats. Picture like a, I don't know, 5-inch by 7-inch by 2-inch rectangular popcorn box, just overflowing with treats, they kept saying, like toys and trinkets. And I went and got it, and I am not lying. I opened it. There was like a rubber army guy, a bouncy ball, a stick of spearmint gum, and like one M&M. It was like comically empty. M&M. Like you could see the bottom of the box. That's. I learned a valuable life lesson at a very tender age.
Oh God, the only part of the circus I even like is, well, none. But if you put a gun to my head and made me pick one, it's the clowns, because I'm fascinated by what is your life even.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's scared of you for no reason. I've never once understood that fear of clowns. It's just a dude in paint. Maybe I've been a wrestling fan too long. I've seen too many dudes in paint.
Yeah. You're waiting to see if they can hit some high spots.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this one's got a chair. Now we got a show. But I'm fascinated by, like, oh, you come out and honk some horns and spray some seltzer and pretend to fall in the dirt, and then what do you do with the rest of your day? Like, the idea of like this comedian that has to put on a face and go out there and fall down and then get back in his tiny car and head to the next town is fascinating to me.
I'm guessing they get a lot of odd jobs thrown their way, a lot of like elephant foot care related things.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're probably also doing a lot of setup and tear down if you're the clown.
Yep, that's what I'm guessing.
Which is not fair. Treat your clowns better.
Yeah. They wouldn't have to paint those smiles on. They'd have a smile. People
shake their fist at the way animals are treated. I need you to treat them clowns right, too. So, Bart is in the thralls of fame, as he is the I Didn't Do It kid. He records a cover of You Can't Touch This from MC Hammer. He goes on Conan, which it's cool to see Conan, since this is where he started, was writing for this show. Well, not started, but this was
really
the job before
early
that.
on. Like, the Conan show had to be fairly new when they were making this. Like,
yeah. I don't think Simpsonized Conan looks as much like Conan as I wanted it to.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think pasty redheads lend themselves to Simpsonizing very well.
Yeah, probably not. Also, like, the Conan that I'm thinking of was 30 years younger at this point.
Yeah.
So
good point, yeah.
Conan is one of those guys, I have never been much of a late night guy. And Conan is easily the one I saw the least of.
Interesting, yeah. Like, as a kid, it probably came out when I was like in the 8th grade or 7th grade when this started. I don't think I missed an episode for the first 3 or 4 months. That was a 5-night-a-week show. And all through, I was out of the house by the time I wasn't watching Conan at least 3 to 4 nights a week. It totally deep six any chance I had of ever getting good grades. I'd stay up and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I just never... I don't know if I'd imagine in my youth I wasn't allowed to stay up that late, and once it became my choice, I just wasn't interested. I don't know what it is, but late night is something so fucking foreign to me. It's this big black hole in my comedy knowledge. That and SNL. Like, I don't know anything about these two things.
Without cable, those are my lifelines. I got SNL because it was NBC, and I got Letterman, and I got Conan because they were network TV too. Yeah, I never ever missed Letterman for the first year or two either.
I wonder if there's a way to. I wonder if there's a good way to watch that shit now. The older stuff.
It's crazy. You say that. I was just talking to a friend. There used to be a random ass cable channel called Trio. It was I think you had to have a dish pretty much to get it, or some kind of fancy higher end cable. But they would show the old NBC Late Night with David Letterman show in reruns, and that show was beyond the pale. One of the best things ever made. Because I think it was just because it was successful. I can't imagine what they were ever told no to. They could. I don't know. They did a whole episode dedicated to Harmon Killebrew. Like the Minnesota Twin. And he hadn't passed. He was very much alive. He's like 50 years old. And they interviewed him. He was the main guest. He's just this soft-spoken Midwest baseball player. Yeah, we sure had a lot of fun. And then there's like Harmon Killebrew themed like quiz questions just because one guy thought it'd be funny in the writer's room. And they got away with it. Can't you try to do that now?
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, let's have a whole episode of Big Bang Theory dedicated to Harmon Killebrew.
I did eventually get into late night with The Daily Show and The Colbert Report, but that feels like a different thing. That feels like that doesn't even count. But there was a hot spell there late in high school where I was super into Late Night with Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson was the one who I would tune in and watch.
Interesting. See, you want to hear a real hot take?
Always.
If we're going just strictly for laughs, I prefer Craig Kilborn era Daily Show over Jon Stewart era Daily Show.
Okay, I can't follow you there. Granted, I've only seen a handful of episodes of Kilborn, and all in retrospect.
Okay, yeah.
Like after the fact, but I really like. Jon Stewart.
I don't think I could argue it's a better show because Jon Stewart had better guests, and there was actual informational interviews on Stewart's show, where Kilborn's was mostly for laughs, but
just cracking jokes. Yeah,
Beth Littleford, I think, is the best correspondent they ever had. She, so insane. She played Dents so well, and she sold it so well that the people she was interviewing did not know that she was joking. And the show was still so new that no one knew anything. Right. There was a more authentic feel to it then. Yeah.
And Stewart's Daily Show eventually fell into some real sincerity and an actual fucking politics on that show.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There was at this episode, I guess I'm jumping ahead in the plot a little bit, but if Bart's fame comes to an end, as all no substance type things like that always do end quickly.
Yeah.
But the ending was great, where we get a little fourth wall action.
Oh my God!
All these characters with their catchphrases, and it's just Lisa.
Yep.
Without one.
Yeah, Lisa says something along the lines of, and now, but no one note character with a catchphrase ever sticks around or whatever she says, and it's and they all fire off Homer like hits the lamp and knocks it over and says dough, and then Bart says I caramba, and Maggie makes the pacifier sound, and Flanders shows up and says hi diddly ho, and Burns like there's like 6 or 8 characters that all do their Marge does the sound,
the concerned grumble,
like, and then they all turn to Lisa, who doesn't have one.
Yeah. And the look on her face is so great.
Yeah, she's just like, she looks kind of disgusted with all of them.
Yeah,
like,
very much so.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, that episode I liked a whole bunch.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Maybe my favorite of this group, actually. I really liked that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue.
And that ending, like, holy shit. I love a good meta joke on television, and The Simpsons do it extremely well. But man, when that daisy chain started going, I was just like applauding my television. Like, yes, out of the park.
So we're on to episode 13, Homer and Apu. I was going to agree with you on favorite episodes, but I like this one a lot too, man. This bunch.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I just like Apu-centric ones, too. Just like seeing his character build. Yep. And they really make him likable in this one, too. Like, you kind of feel for him a little bit.
You really root for him, yeah.
Maybe not so much early on when his shady business practices almost kill Homer. I love paying a man off from a food poisoning with raw shrimp.
Yep. With also poisonous food. Yeah.
Not cocktail shrimp, not chill, but no, room temp buckets of shrimp.
Oh, God, I can't.
What's your stance?
I can't think of more.
On cocktail shrimp.
It is cold shrimp is not my favorite way to eat shrimp, but I will. Like, I will and enjoy it. I'm not begrudgingly. I'm not growling as I, hammer cold shrimp into my face. But it's not. It's not my favorite.
I'd say 3 to 4 times a year, I will sit down in front of a television on a Saturday evening, and I will eat a whole ring of cocktail shrimp, like the $5 Walmart one, just for supper. Nothing else. No side. Yep.
Come in that big plastic like cake pan.
And in the middle sits your little cup of cocktail sauce. And it's always too cold. So what you do is you take your shirt off and let your body heat melt it as you watch TV.
Jesus Christ.
So, hey, that's a life hack for our listeners out there. Like, it's like, hey, I can't get up and microwave shrimp. That sounds dangerous and time consuming. Let your body do it. Like, that's your natural essence will get that shrimp at the perfect temp.
It's like a scene in a movie where a character has fallen into the cold water and the person warms them by taking their own shirt off and hugging them.
And then the shrimp condensation will run down your tummy, which kind of catches you off guard. But you have to get used to it. It's just a thing.
My God.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Well, I appreciate that visual of you shirtless, covered in shrimp water.
Shrimp water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me?
Oh, boy. You just splayed out like Rose in Titanic.
Watching wrestling bloopers on YouTube for 5 hours. I bet this guy doesn't land it either.
Oh, look at that. Sting fell down trying to get in the ring.
Hey.
More
Sid
shrimp
Vicious.
from...
Sid Vicious compound fractured his leg again. What
a
dope.
God, that thing's so hard to watch.
Yep.
That's the worst sports injury blooper of all time.
It ain't good. It ain't good.
Sid Vicious breaking his fucking leg off.
Oof, yeah.
God. Oh, that's not how that foot is supposed to go at all.
Yeah.
We're starting to pool up. Where's my shrimp towel?
Yeah. I need a specific shrimp towel that hides behind the couch. Daddy's home. Fingers in the dark, reaching desperately for a shrimp towel.
Ugh.
Never washed.
That's repulsive.
Yeah. Any towel you use to wipe shellfish oils off your nude form that goes behind a couch, you can rest assured. I don't need to say it's never washed.
Oh God.
And I'm not nude. I'm wearing basketball shorts. I'm not an animal.
Right, yeah. We don't want people to think you're gross. As you're shirtless, covered in shrimp dew.
So Homer,
my preferred shrimp is a scampi. I like a nice buttery garlic scampi.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I pretty much will eat shrimp in any form we put it in.
Yeah, that's true. Tacos.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Shrimp is very underrated in the taco game.
Yeah, coconut.
Yeah, coconut. Yes, I love that at the endless shrimp. Just keep them coming. Pour them down my fucking head.
Get the shrimp funnel, everybody. Here we go. Just an auger.
But word gets out about Homer's run-ins with salmonella at the Quickie Mart, so he is kind of, I don't know what the word would be. He's talked into being like an undercover agent to find out about Apu's business practices, and he is eventually busted with it. He wears a giant novelty cowboy hat with like a camcorder inside it, which is great.
And then he has to like hurry along because it's clearly heavy.
Yeah. And we see that Apu is putting a hot dog that has, among other things on it, a Band-Aid.
Yep.
On the roller. So Apu loses his Quickie Mart franchise, and famed television and movie actor James Woods is method acting for a role, and he takes over the Quickie Mart.
Yeah, and like the appearance of James Woods and the sound of James Woods' voice hits a little different today when he's just a fucking right-wing nutbag on fucking Twitter. Just an asshole.
Very, very much. And you had a recent run-in with some of James Woods' work.
I did.
Tell the people, Marlin.
Just this week, this past week, a few days ago, I watched John Carpenter's Vampires from 1998, a movie that 17-year-old Marlin thought was the balls.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, this is the best fucking movie I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
So great.
These days, it is significantly less good than I thought. It reeks of 1998-ness. It is. There is a badass guys in black slow-mo walking towards the camera every 40 seconds.
Is there ever? Oh, it's sad.
Boy, did they drive that home.
I watched it about 8 years ago. So depressed how bad it aged.
Bummed. It is. James Woods' character is completely unlikable.
Yep.
Just he treats the one woman in the film like garbage. Has zero trouble referring to vampires as a gay slur that we don't use, James. It was a rough one. Of all the lesser Baldwins, Danny might be my least favorite.
Yep. It's like they planned on casting every role as unlikable as possible.
Yeah, he also is a piece of garbage in that movie. Like, the guys you're supposed to root for are the fucking worst. Not good. That being said, as like every John Carpenter film, the score is fantastic because Carpenter's a great musician, and it's good to see him get to like stretch his country western legs. He's always so electronic in so many of his movies.
Synth heavy, yeah. You want to hear another hot take, Marlin?
Always.
On the subject of John Carpenter, I'm a big fan of Ghosts of Mars.
That I can't follow you. I can't follow you on that one.
I'm going down a lot of lonesome roads on today's podcast.
Speaking of John Carpenter films that star Trumpian fucking weirdos, Ice Cube, we just learned
Ice Cube
this week. Yeah.
Really? Oh, man.
Ice-T was always the better Ice anyway, but...
See, well, as a rapper, I definitely prefer Ice Cube, but yeah, ugh. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Ice-T always comes off as very intelligent interviews and like real savvy. So that makes but I never his rapping style is just that old enough 80s type era that it never really.
Oh, sure. I can see that. There's a line there. that I can see people falling on one side or the other. But Ghost of Mars specifically, no, I never cared for.
Saw it in the theater, thank you.
John Carpenter is a master of horror movies and always has been, but no one bats 1,000.
Nope. Yeah, he's got some duds, definitely. Was Ghosts of Mars possibly his last big released movie, I think, too? We're almost going on 20 years.
I'd believe that if you told me that.
I think he made the movie called The Ward, but I'm pretty sure that didn't get a wide release.
Does it even count then?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was like a direct-to-video, maybe larger markets got it, because it has, like, notable actors in it, but yeah.
Yeah, the Ward and Ghost of Mars. Yeah, I had to look it up. Those were his last two big directorial
films. Come on, bro. You don't have a whole lot of active years left.
Yeah, he executive produced the new Halloween, which is good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the man's getting up there.
That's true.
He can only work for so long. He's 72.
I just get bummed. Yeah, but that means he was like 54 when he kind of tapped out after Ghost of Mars. I mean, that'll do it to a guy, Ghost of Mars.
Yeah, that really put a bow on it.
David Lynch, too. He hasn't made a movie since he was like in his 50s either. Like,
I think I always confuse him with... Fuck, I don't even remember the other guy's name. Fincher.
Spielberg?
I always confuse Fincher and Lynch.
Oh, okay.
But I think Lynch has something coming up on Netflix next year.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Or I could be talking about Fincher. I don't know. Who's the one with the weird hair?
That would be Lynch.
Okay.
Big, tall hair.
Yeah. Then I think that's him.
Did like Blue Velvet and Eraserhead and stuff like that.
Boy, Blue Velvet's a fucking trip.
Very on my short list of favorite movies.
Oh, really?
I love it.
You
It's a
ever
tough
get
movie to
deep
love.
into oxygen huffing?
To this day, I still quote that movie whenever I turn a light off. I always just whisper, "Now it's dark," because that's what Frank Booth does whenever he enters a room.
Oh,
He
God.
pinches out the candle. Now it's dark, because I love it creeping out anyone that's within earshot of me when it's dark out.
Yeah, as you're standing there holding a shrimp ring. A rapidly thawing shrimp ring.
With that nitrous oxide tank hooked onto my suspenders. Taking a huge rip of that and then eating shrimp. Ooh, baby wants shrimp. Oh. Holy. Dennis Hopper, born to play that role.
Not Bowser? Not Bowser Koopa?
Not Bowser Cooper. Heineken. Fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Man, Dennis Hopper's so good.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah, pour one out for a real one.
Yeah.
Also weird to see James Woods in The Simpsons, because I've seen James Woods in Family Guy for so long.
Yeah. I wonder what the connection there is.
Yeah.
He just must enjoy it. I don't know. Easy money, probably.
Yeah, Easy Money is my first guess.
He was doing Family Guy when that show was barely making it, so it's not like it was a huge payoff in the early seasons.
But I think he also was not on top of the world at that time either, if I were to guess.
Granted. Yeah.
So I love how both Family Guy and Simpsons, more The Simpsons, depict him as being really disheveled. Like, he looks tired. And his hair's always mussed up.
Yeah. So, right away, there it seems as one Apu's out on the streets that he is going to take some sort of revenge on Homer for helping him lose the Quickie Mart. But it turns out, no, he actually wants to earn Homer's forgiveness for getting him sick. So he moves into the Simpsons house, and he's Mrs. Doubtfire his ass off. Just it's a little angel that does everything amazing, cleans, cooks them amazing food that actually has vegetables in it, and
paying off a karmic debt.
Yep, and he cooks some spicy treats, and of course it makes Lisa trip balls, because that's apparently what Lisa does now.
Marge is like, "Oh, Lisa, is that too spicy?" And her huge, unblinking eyes, she just says, "I can see through time."
Yeah, so great.
God, I love Indian food.
Oh, you just literally stole the words from my mouth. I'm like a combination of sad nostalgia and a food chub for thinking of chicken tikka masala right now. I know it's the basic bitch of the Indian
really
fare,
is.
but
Yep.
it's so good.
It is the California roll of Indian food.
Yeah.
But it's real good.
Real good.
Hit me with that paneer.
man.
Give me that paneer right in my dumb face.
Why isn't all bread like naan? It's so good.
Yeah, like, fuck. You have naan, and you go home and throw away your bread. Like,
Yep, yeah.
Get the fuck Wonder Bread?
I am very Midwestern, so when I'm in a restaurant, I am all peaches and cream. You could serve me a pizza with a fucking boot print in the middle, and I'd eat around the boot print. They're probably busy. I will choke slam an employee at an Indian restaurant if there's not enough naan in the buffet.
Well, you need
it's a
your carbs,
ratio.
as we've covered.
It's a ratio. I can't have too much chicken and not enough naan.
I don't need silverware. I just need naan.
Yeah, everything. I fucking paint a house with naan. I don't give a shit.
Naan is my utensil. It is my napkin.
Yep.
It is everything. I'm going to take some home. I'm going to spackle the wall with it.
There's a breeze outside. I'll wrap it around my ears like a babushka. It's multi-purposed. Oh, man. And I was just thinking, what has James Woods done? He's done good shit. He's very good in a small role in Casino, Martin Scorsese's Casino.
Yes, that's the first thing that came to my
mind.
Yeah,
he's a talented actor when he wants to be, yeah. Salvador, one of the earlier Oliver Stone movies, and he's the lead. It's a devastatingly good movie. Like,
I always end up thinking that fucking Oliver Stone movies are so goddamn boring.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, talk about batting average. That's a shit batting average. But I love Platoon. I love Salvador. I enjoy Natural Born Killers. A lot of that's nostalgia-based because I thought it was cool when I was a shithead 15-year-old. They kill people. They have round sunglasses. Yeah. 9 Inch Nails on the soundtrack. Count me in.
Wasn't James Woods holding it down on some TV show for a long time? I feel like I've seen a DVD box set of season 3 of whatever the fuck, but it's got James Woods' face on it.
Yeah. Huh.
Maybe
I did not even know. Yeah. Listeners, let us know if your hot James Wood takes. We can find out more about this man. One thing we got to mention too. Well, I guess the plot leads to it. So things are fine at the Simpsons house, but it's getting to be, hey, you got to go face your demons. Which Apu regards to. He has to go to the scene of his spiritual depantsing, which I thought was a great term.
It's evocative. You know what he means.
Yeah. Have you ever been spiritually depantsed, Marlin?
I don't know about spiritually. Definitely
just
physically.
Regularly pantsed. Yeah, there's a pantsing epidemic in my junior high.
I think everyone in my school somewhere between kindergarten and senior year got fucking pantsed.
I think it was probably the reason why I didn't wear anything but jeans until I was like 35.
100%. Yeah. It's why
it is, yeah.
It's why at some point you stopped wearing Zubas and basketball shorts to school.
Because I don't need to see anyone see me in the tidy whities my mom buys me.
I need something with a fly, so I'm not showing off my Hulk Hogan underoos. I didn't know he'd be racist when I grew up, Nathan. I didn't know. That's how I know we're living in the bad timeline. The sentence Hulk Hogan said the N-word during his sex tape is a real sentence.
Yeah. And during Apu's time with The Simpsons, he can't go to the Quickie Mart, so he instead goes with Marge to Monster Mart, which has to be a play on Walmart. The sign out front is so great. It's Monster Mart, where shopping is a baffling ordeal.
And it's like one of these warehouse stores, like a Costco or a Sam's Club, where everything comes in giant fucking proportions. Mm-hmm. Like Marge says, "Oh, that's a great deal on 12 pounds of nutmeg." Fucking long 12 pounds of nutmeg would last you?
Generations.
Yeah, that's an heirloom now.
Yeah. I love too when they're in line waiting, and Apu, a veteran of the grocery scene, is like, oh, let's go to this line. And then, well, that line's longer. It's like, no, take a closer look. It's only pathetic single men. Only cash, no check.
Yep, no chatter.
which was funny because a very lonely man for most of my adult life and often paid with cash and very quickly got out of grocery stores.
Yep. I also think of myself as a bit of a savant when it comes to choosing the line, and it's because I read the people, not the length.
Yeah, very good point. Oh, man, though, doesn't it hurt when you're certain you chose the right one and then some kind of unforeseen circumstance causes you not to be in the right lane?
Yeah, that's always a bummer. Like,
you just give it like a existential crisis. Like, you fucking think you're so fucking smart.
Or there's a fucking something wrong with an item.
Yeah.
No, that price was 2 for $4, not 3 apiece, and it's going to take 20 minutes to run that down because they
I'll give you $1, you sack of shit. Yeah.
They have a skeleton crew working here because they milk every dime out of these people. But
like,
I refuse to go to the do-it-yourself robot because I don't work here.
Oh, bro, I'm all about it. I know I should be raging against that machine.
You should.
I immediately in and out, do the hand thing. Yep, all done, out the door.
Nope, fuck that. I will go to a human every time.
You were really stretching the definition of human at these big box stores, aren't we? There's some kind of...
They're just paying their bills, man. It's the people upstairs that are the problem.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I skip the robot every time. I can't. I'm not, like I said, A, I don't work here. B, if enough of us go to the robot, they're going to fire all the rest of these people. So
yeah, I have a little bit of foreshadowing. I have embraced our robot overlords, so I am all about it.
Nathan is anti-cashier and anti-trucker because that's coming down the line too.
Yeah. Oh my God, is it ever? Yeah. Got a lot of relatives with their heads in the sand on that one.
Nope, it's fine. Just keep going. They're not.
Yep. Well, they'll need somebody to fix them. There's already people that fix them. Like, yeah.
Also, there's nothing under that robot hood that you can fix. It doesn't matter that you can change a filter on your 76 Oldsmobile.
Yep. Very good point. Mm-hmm. And I do like that this has a really nice ending. So Apu goes, James Woods, there's an exchange where there's a robbery and he gets shot, saving James Woods' life. And he is saved because the bullet hit a bullet that was already lodged in his ribcage. Because Apu's seen some shit.
Working in a convenience store is terrifying.
And Apu is in bed, and the Simpsons are all around him, and he realizes that Quickie Mart is what he wants to do, and there's like a genuine hug, and then another hug. There's like 2 hugs. Yeah, because there's a gag in the middle.
Yeah, weirdly Homer's like, well, there's still a couple minutes left in the episode, I guess, and they hug again. Or he doesn't say in the episode, but it's like, yeah, we still have a couple minutes, and they hug again.
Some more of that fourth wall shit for you.
Yeah. I love the bit where they go to India and go up into the mountains to talk to, like, the keeper of the first Quickie Mart.
Yeah.
Like, the first convenience store that's up in the mountains. I thought that was good.
Great dumb Homer bit.
Yep. Fantastic. And it's funny, for the first time, I heard that bit, like, you may ask 3 questions. Are you really the head of the Quickie Mart? Yes. Really? Yes. Really? Yes. Okay, you're done. Or thank you, come again, whatever he says. I heard that bit for the first time listening to Will Wheaton on a D&D podcast probably 15 years ago. And so when that happened, I was like, holy shit, that's that thing that I heard when I was 20.
That's a popular comic trope from probably like the 60s through the 90s, like somebody climbing something to reach somebody that's reached a sense of enlightenment, asking for that showed up a lot when in Mad magazines and stuff like that when I was a kid.
Yeah, I guess that never occurred to me here, but yeah, that's a trope you've seen before.
It's funny how stuff like that can just disappear. Like that's like a reference that wouldn't spark anything. Oh, I've seen, that's, you don't see it anymore, Well, first off, we don't read things on paper anymore.
True. Yes. Is the idea?
Are you telling me these 17-year-olds haven't read multiple Beetle Bailey back issue collections?
I don't know that I've read a Beetle. I've probably read a Beetle Bailey comic. There's no way I got all this way without it.
I was obsessed with comic strips as a kid. I owned a dozen Beetle Bailey books, like the collections in book form. Yeah, any comic strip, I devoured it. Like, I don't know. Almost all from rummage sales. The stack was definitely taller than I was. I was just obsessed with it.
When I was in school, the thing that you rushed for is whenever they let you go to the library, which was like a once a week thing, was like children would tear each other apart over, was the Garfield treasure vaults or whatever those were called, the Garfield collections.
I owned probably like 9 through 17 and multiple early ones that I picked up at rummage sales too. I owned all the Calvin and Hobbes except Weirdos from Another Planet. The fact that still sticks in my head is alarming.
But what did you do today? You couldn't say.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I have someone else's socks on right now. How did that happen?
Calvin and Hobbes is one of those. I have a lot of friends who are adults and love Calvin and Hobbes, not just from their youth, but find it sincere and poignant today, as far as loss of innocence and growing up and all that. So.
Yep.
I get that, but I was never much of a reader of them. Like, you would occasionally fucking wrestle the comic strip away from Grandpa every so often and see what Garfield's up to today, but I was never able to really stack up a knowledge of any of them.
Yeah. Oof, I do the best sad kid thing when the like the weekly book or the monthly or whatever it was, like the little printout where you could get books for cheap for kids.
Okay.
I would just do the best sad little kid, like, I just want to read, and guilt my parents into giving me $5 for a Garfield book. I guess if reading's wrong, I'll stop doing it.
I guess if you don't want me to read, and just kick the dust at your feet.
Yeah.
See, I
know times are hard.
I never had a problem with that. I was fucking buried in books my whole fucking youth, like, and to the point where, like, there should have been a little better monitoring as to far as what I was reading. Like, I read It by Stephen King when I was like 8 or 9 years old. Like, that's
where did it come from?
Young.
Like the public library?
Probably. Well, like, we just had a library at the school. That had to have been where it came from. But like, I read, like, and was immediately obsessed with Stephen King. So, like, right after I put that down, I picked up Tommyknockers and read that. And, like, I was obsessed with that kind of thing. Like we talked about last week, like, I would go home and eagerly watch Wishbone, which is just a dog doing literature.
Yeah.
So then, like, I want to read the books that Wishbone does, so I'm doing Treasure Island and Ivanhoe and Sherlock Holmes and, like, all this stuff, so...
I'm picturing that your guys' school's library was just a wheelbarrow out on the playground with a bunch of waterlogged paperbacks. Just sopping wet, slap them against the side of your pants.
It was just the cart that they have for prison. Like, you see them pushing the book cart down the hallway in prison. Yeah, it was basically that.
Another phone book. Oh, shucks.
Nothing's got covers on them. You don't even know what you're getting into.
I've already read New Salem.
And then, like, as an adult, like, I have to, like, sit down and be like, no, read a fucking book. Because there's too much
why
other
does that
shit.
happen?
And
the voices.
Like...
man. Do I know what that's like?
Yes, the voices.
I can't kill myself now. I'm busy reading.
No, not now. Thank God I was reading this book. That might have been it. That might have been the time.
Yeah.
You almost got me, left-hand side of the brain. That was almost it.
Keeping both eyes on you.
But, like, and I do read quite a bit, like, not as much as I did when I was a kid, but I'm knocking out probably a book a month, but good for you. That's not impressive or anything like that, but, like, it's the fact that I have to, like, I'll be sitting there watching, motherfucker, I shotgunned 2 full seasons of Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, yesterday. And then finally had to be like, you got to do something else right now.
Yeah. It's like you have to like lit shame yourself. Like, pick up a book, you fat bitch.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta
look at yourself.
Watch this.
It's getting dumber. It's getting fucking dumber.
Watch this cartoon Hawk Lawyer again, you fucking idiot. Read a book.
Yeah, goddamn dummy.
Which, I mean, that's usually what I have
Your
to
neighbors can overhear it all. I wish he would close his balcony door, frankly. They post like get well cards on your apartment door. Hang in there. It's a picture of Ziggy waving at you.
This is the fucking 4th time the police have come here for a wellness check. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just watching TV. It's fine. But yeah, so I'd still love to read, and I still do, but the fact that I have to remind myself to do it is sad.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. I can just watch the pictures on the idiot box, and
it'll tell me what to think.
I can do what I often do, which is watch a show while staring at my phone.
Yeah, not gain anything from either.
Yep, we're just burning electricity. We're just cutting down digital trees. Is all we're doing.
None in the hand is worth none in the bush.
Oh, God. But I'm still the asshole who will be like, I should buy this book fucking near every time I leave my house.
I have had to have many come to Jesus meetings with myself in people's driveways while I'm about to invade their yard sale and buy 47 paperback books. You don't need it.
You don't need
the pickup box trailer of books you haven't read.
It's like we're both George Burns in that Twilight Zone episode that came out. Or not George. Meredith. Burgess Meredith.
Yeah.
Jesus, George wasn't in there either. I am a fucking idiot. I gotta read more. God.
Hang in there.
Hang in there, kitten. It's that poster. But here we are. I'm reading notes off my phone from a television show I watched earlier while looking at a computer screen.
Yeah, we're up to episode 14.
14, Lisa versus Malibu Stacy. We get the Monty Python foot again at the couch gag.
Again, I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of them recycling couch gags, but if you're going to recycle one, make it the Monty Python foot.
Yeah.
They're ringing in, this is Abe and Jasper, ringing in the opening of a new geriatric medicine center with a special appearance by Matlock. Not the actor who plays Matlock. Just Matlock.
Not Andy Griffith. Yeah.
I thought that was very funny, because it's like, it's not like, hey, please welcome Leonard Nimoy. It's like, please welcome Spock.
What I like, too, is like Andy Griffith at that point in time was not an invalid. He was an older man, but he could get around.
Not in the Simpsons.
This guy had like 4 canes.
Got a cane for each hand, and then gets torn apart by the crowd in a weird way.
Yeah, like he's like a teen idol.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Matlock. But if you were to say, name a show old people like, I would say Matlock.
Isn't that funny how things become that? Like, you couldn't name one part of that show besides Andy Griffith is on it and old people love it.
Right. Yep. And I wouldn't have been able to say that Andy Griffith was on it. Abe decides, seeing Matlock be so old, Abe has a flash of kind of his own mortality.
Yeah.
His own morality is what I had said.
His own morality is very piss poor, as we've seen multiple times.
And I still need to read more books. His own mortality. So he decides that he wants to give everyone their inheritance while he's still alive, so he can see them enjoy it. And it is largely a box of silver coins that he explains he caught when rich people used to throw them out of planes.
Yeah, and those goddamn jackals go spend them like they're just basic currency.
It's insane.
Like, you guys.
They just take them to the toy store with him along, and they buy garbage with them.
Yep. And this brought me to our previous episode's talk of working in sad liquor stores.
Oh, yeah.
We had a regular customer came in, I think it was like in the afternoons. It was not during a busy time. He'd always buy like something cheap, like either some cheap wine or like a big thing of cheap beer. And he'd always pay in $2 bills.
Weird.
And I was kind of new, so I just ignored it. And then I started noticing the dates were getting older. I'm like, well, fuck. And my dad collects stuff. Like, so I would just cash it out. Like, I'd put a $10 bill of my own and take the $2 bills home. It was like, and they kept getting older. Finally, I was like, hey, like, I was just kind of curious. Do you just like collect money? He's like, no, my late father did.
And he was using his old money collection to buy booze.
Burning up his father's classic, like, collectible currency collection to buy Boone's Farm. It's like, gee, yeah.
Oof.
That's an oof there.
That's a big oof.
And he didn't say it like he was like, fuck that guy. Here's what I was like, nope. I am a crippling alcoholic, and this is what it's come down to. Let's just change the subject. Hey, how about those Vikes? Yeah. I'm going to drink this wine in my car that I sleep in because it's home now.
Oh, man. We had a guy who used to come into the strip club where I work and tip girls in $2 bills. And
interesting.
You would not believe the amount of...
how bad they smelled. What's this guy doing to these?
Where's he keeping these?
Yeah. I have many folds. Thank you. I didn't need to know.
These bills all smell like shrimp water.
I'll never tell. Tea.
No, what I was going to say was...
me dabbing shrimp water off my body with $2 bills and just flicking them into the living room. There's a perfect manicured stack of $2 bills beside me. Oh, the shrimp is simply so decadent, but it's so messy.
You're just lightly dabbing the shrimp water from your side gut.
I need to have a package of wet naps in my car that are just damp $2 bills. Cue Alan Jackson, there's a difference between living and living well. Or George Strait, my bad. I butchered that.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Holy shit. Where I was headed was... you would not believe the amount of strippers who would then come to the DJ booth and be like, this is fake, right? Because they didn't know what a $2 bill was. In their defense, they're all 19. They don't know what a $2 bill is.
Thomas Hooverson? He was never president.
But yeah, their first time seeing that guy, it was always like, this ain't real, is it? I'm like, yes, it's real money.
It'll spend.
Yeah, go try to spend it. Go buy a drink, and they'll take it. So yeah, they go spend Abe's coin collection. Bart gets like this elaborate like mountain base with missiles that actually fire, and it reminded me of like, oh, that's the thing that every kid wants but no kid gets, right?
That you would see in the Wish Book catalog. Like, oh, man.
Like every toy collection, be it G.I. Joe or Transformers or whatever, had the big one on the bottom shelf that no kid ever got. For me, I had Ninja Turtle toys, and for me it was the Technodrome.
Oh, yep. See, as a He-Man kid, I had Castle Grayskull, but I didn't have Skeletor's thing.
Oh, his lair.
Yeah, there was also like an actual Eternia that was like I don't know, cost $2,000 in 1985, and like someone had to come to your house and build it. But there are pictures of me. I was probably 4 years old. I remember I'm wearing Knight Rider jammies. This is before I hit my 5-year growth spurt and looked like a 37-year-old man.
It's the one photo of you as a child.
As a child, joy in my eyes. And like, I am screaming like I either won the lottery or someone was murdered in front of me. That's how much joy was coursing through my veins as I opened Castle Grayskull for Christmas.
Awesome.
Like,
Good for,
like a peak that
good
day.
for you.
The happiness peaked
It's
that
been
day.
downhill ever since.
Yeah,
Now you're having nude shrimp nights.
That's my rosebud, is thinking back to Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, I think the G.I. Joes had some manner of like aircraft carrier or something, some huge piece of military equipment.
I think there was also later on like a big space shuttle type thing that unfolded with a bunch of different compartments and
I missed G.I. Joe and Transformer and He-Man. Like when I showed up, it was turtle time.
And maybe were you young enough to maybe get in on Power Rangers too?
The next kids. So like the kids in the grade after me were Power Rangers kids.
Oh, okay.
Because so Ninja Turtles, the show, started the year I was born in '85. So like by the time I was actually liking or having tastes, I was 5 or 6, and it was still going strong. That show went 10 seasons.
Yeah, wow, that is nuts.
That's big for a we made this show to sell toys show.
Yeah, no kidding. A decade-long commercial.
Yeah, and I own them all on DVD and love them. Like, they're so good. That show's great. I will defend that show to the grave.
I hope the last 15 minutes of your dialogue is like the byline on your Tinder profile. I own every episode of Teenager. I love that show. It's great. I will defend it to the grave.
Hit me up.
Give me them digis.
Yeah, let me know if you want to see my dick.
And it's like surveillance camera footage of you as the profile picture. It's you waiting in line for a car wash.
I just love the idea of a guy who has such like innocent childlike interests and then is also a pervy asshole.
Yeah. And the next 8 pictures are your taint.
Ninja Turtles takes me back to a happier and more innocent time. Anyway, let me know if I can see your
Look
asshole.
at it! Look at it!
That's a fun character.
Validate me.
Oh God. I just like a nice Sunday with some cold cereal and watching Ninja Turtles.
Peekaboo. So see, there's not enough blood vessels to bruise a taint. I'm proving them wrong. Don't stare into this abyss too long, ladies.
Oh God.
Because it's winking back at you.
That's it. Look right at the camera.
As Big Girls Don't Cry plays in the background.
Oh fuck.
And neighbors quietly knocking on Marlin.
He was just sad earlier. What's going on now?
The music's a little loud.
It needs to be.
We like 60s doo-wop as much as the next apartment.
Oh God, I love 60s doo-wop. Let me tell you.
So The Simpsons.
Oh God! So the Simpsons are they're all back home and they're all avoiding Grandpa. They're all treating Abe like shit, like they do sometimes.
Yeah.
Even Marge is ignoring him. Everyone's ignoring Grandpa.
Yeah.
Lisa is angry because she got the new talking Malibu Stacy that has the pull string that then says something, and it's all just bullshit. It's all just ditzy blonde bullshit. Like, oh, we gotta like boys, tee like, and Lisa is irate. She is not into this, and she's kind of venting to her mom about it and the whole family at dinner. And Marge is like, well, normally, Lisa, I would tell you to stand up for what you believe in, but you've been doing that kind of a lot lately, which had me rolling.
Yeah.
I was like, that is a perfect joke. That is a perfect parenting joke.
Yeah. Even I have my limits. Yeah. Even Marge has her limits.
I want you to have strong moral fiber, but God damn it, do you have to do it all the time?
Every day. Are you sure?
Oh, God. So they decide to go on a tour of the Stacy factory. At one point, they're watching a film that is telling them the secret of it and mentions the founder, and then mentions, and here's the person with the biggest Stacy collection in the country, and it's fucking Smithers.
Of course.
Because of course it is.
That creepy-ass screensaver thing we see of his later.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yep. Not good.
Nope.
You ever take a tour of anything interesting, like in your travels?
Huh. No. If I have to think that hard about it, apparently not.
I can only think. I got a tour of the Jack Daniels facility.
I would like to. That's
Pretty
on my
fucking
list
cool.
of things I would like to do is go to Lynchburg.
It's in a dry county, so you can't buy. Well, you can buy Jack Daniels, but it's a collector's edition. So it's basically a bottle of Jack Daniels that costs $120 because it has a different color label, which
is fine. Yeah.
Which made it 4 minutes until we ripped it open like fucking jackals because we were all 19.
Which the fact that you can be 19 and buy it is a problem.
Yeah. You know what I think about? Someone of age was in that car too, yeah, but the rest of us in the back seat, the kids, the children in the back were all teenagers.
Just getting hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to tour that, and I would like to tour Graceland. Yeah. And that's kind of about it. And so apparently what we're learning is I really want to go to Tennessee. Yeah. That's where both of those are.
Tennessee. Arrested Development shout out.
Oh, okay.
The band, not the TV show.
Oh, even less something I know. Yeah.
Mr. Wendell. I'm going to drive this. I'm going to start doing deep cuts off of Arrested Development. This is a live cut from a show in Thailand.
I look forward to comedy trips being back so that you can play deep cuts from bands we've never heard of.
Which really hurtful misogynistic rapper do you want to hear next? Because in my head, music stopped in 1998.
Nathan, these are all deep cuts. We've never heard of any of these.
None of it's aging well. Well, neither am I, Marlin.
A lot of shrimp in this car. What are we doing today?
It's like a half foot of standing water in the back seat.
Don't touch it. Don't touch the shrimp water.
Don't worry about it.
Lisa tracks down the creator of Malibu, Stacy, because she wants to let her know what's going on. Like, hey, they've ruined some shit for you. Lisa says, I personally would be mortified if someone made a lousy product with the Simpson name on it, which I loved.
Yeah, that was fun. Because again,
Lisa,
wink, wink. Yep.
Yeah, looking right at the camera. Lisa and Stacy set out to make a new doll. They make Lisa Lionheart, who says actual poignant shit rather than just airhead nonsense that the talking Stacy was spewing. The company's trying to fight against it, and they win because they're the company.
That's how companies work.
They release a new Stacy at the same time that just is the old Stacy, but with a hat, and because in a ripping commentary on consumerism, they all buy that one instead of the new good one that has something to say.
Yeah, because collectors are dumb.
Yep. Yeah, there's a moment where she goes to Smithers because she correctly assumes that he can lead her to the creator, and we see Smithers' house that's full of fucking Malibu Stacys, and it's real creepy. And then when he opens his computer, there's a digitized Mr. Burns that he has clearly programmed himself that has no shirt on and is kind of hugging his own shoulders that says, "Oh, Smithers, you know just how to turn me on," which is real weird.
I don't like that.
Did that not sit well with you? Did that catch a shudder?
Yep. Not good. One thing I love in this episode is Homer's snack choice when he goes to the pantry. Did you notice?
Oh, yes. Nuts and gum together at last.
Yeah, just takes a huge handful right down the old pie hole.
Yeah.
That's great.
There's a B story in here, too, of like Grandpa gets a job at a fast food restaurant, and then eventually, because he's tired of being underappreciated and having nothing to do with, so don't choose that line of work if appreciation is what you're looking for.
There was a gag I enjoyed too where Kent Brockman was busy writing about the 40th anniversary of Beetle Bailey. And,
look at that.
Yeah. And but then they decided to write about the what's the doll, Lisa Lionheart. He writes about Lisa Lionheart stuff. But yeah, you're right. Consumerism wins, corporations win. They win, we lose.
But at the end, it is kind of nice. They show one, like, kind of nerdy-looking little girl buying the Lisa Lionheart instead of the other one. And
needed some kind of positive affirmation in her life, and she's going to get it from Lisa Lionheart.
And Lisa's like, well, as long as we can reach one. And and Stacy says, yeah, as long as she's willing to pay $46,000 for that one. Yeah. It's like, like, it was this weird, like, rapid fire of consumerism and then little heartwarming bits and then but no consumerism again where it was like, geez, geez. Really keeping you on your toes are the Simpsons.
All those hot political social takes.
That was a great one. It turns out I really like Lisa episodes.
Yeah, do I too. I'm a big Lisa fan.
Yeah.
But if you're a Homer fan, you're sure going to love episode 15, Deep Space Homer. Great start. They're all milling around the power plant parking lot for the Employee of the Week nomination. And everyone has that, kind of like a gold medal for Employee of the Week except Homer, who's like contractually obligated to win one because of their union contract.
Yep, it says in the union rules.
And who does he lose to? Is it some kind of
carbon rod?
A carbon rod.
An inanimate carbon rod.
Yeah. And everyone applauds like they really thought it had it coming. Like, good job, carbon rod. You ever win Employee of the Month anywhere or Employee of the Week?
No. Not because I'm inept, but because I've never worked anywhere that has one.
See,
it does employee awards.
I worked in a call center, which always throws a ton of shit like this their way, just to stop them from committing suicide. Like just that because that line of work, it's like, hey, don't drive your car into a river. We're going to have a pizza party on Friday.
Yeah, listen, we don't want to put up the netting outside the building, okay?
Well, we
don't want to pay for that.
Multiple of the worst pizza sold in this town.
Yeah, the cheapest and worst pizza that we don't pay for, that we just trade for. So
No, you won't get an extra break. You'll just have to eat pizza fast on your 15-minute break.
Right.
That's when you go to the bathroom? Well, make a decision.
I worked at a call center for 3 weeks, and that's all I could take. The first 2 weeks are training. So I worked at a call center for a week and was like, no, I can't work here because I own a gun. I can't. There's no way this ends well for me.
I was nominated for Employee of the Month at my call center, I think, 8 times.
Oh, yeah?
And, totally Susan Lucci'd that bitch by never winning it once. Always the Employee of the Month bridesmaid, never the Employee of the Month bride.
Yeah. Poor Patrick Ewing. Just never got it. Never got the ring.
Should have dunked it, not laid it in. Would have probably had a title right now.
I never did. The majority of my adult working life has been at radio stations and a strip club. So, I haven't lived a regular employee life for the most part. I've literally never stood around a water cooler.
Oh, interest. Never really got into an office job. Huh.
Yeah.
So Homer did not win Employee of the Month, and he's very sad about it. And he's at the kitchen table, and Bart writes "insert brain here" on the back of his head, which Homer, the idiot that he is, wants to read what he wrote. So he attempts to look at the back of his own head, which is a great gag because it goes from them laughing at him spinning on the floor to them kind of being depressed by it.
Yeah, they're like concerned.
Yep.
Starting off, they really think it's funny.
Yeah. Oh, they love. Again, whole family loves it.
But it turns pretty quick into like,
yeah. So, there's a great scene too where Homer and Bart violently try to make sure they turn the TV off before they get to watch a space shuttle launch, because that's how boring it is, that it frightens them.
Which I couldn't believe. Like, if I were a kid, I'd have loved to watch a space shuttle launch.
Yeah, I guess I just kind of was like, meh, I guess I didn't dislike it, but I was like, okay, because they were just so commonplace after a while.
Like, I sat at my computer at work burning fucking company time and watched Elon Musk launch his convertible.
Oh.
Like, I was like, this is dope. Look at this. Like, I think space is one of those things that, like, I never grew out of. Like, it's still cool. You know?
Pretty rad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm of an age where I'm pretty sure we watched the Challenger explode in class.
Oh, fun.
I think I was in the first grade because they had teachers aboard that time. That was the whole thing. It's like, we're going to make this relatable to the kids.
Like,
yeah,
all right, kids, watch this. Boy, well, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Well,
can you imagine if you're that teacher?
Yeah.
Just scrambling.
Back to phonics. Hey, kids, CH makes a ch sound. Isn't that crazy? Then the waterworks start.
Yeah. What happened to the spacemen? Oh, no. Jeez. Yeah,
I really want to...
I always think the same about anybody who was watching when JFK got assassinated.
Yeah.
Like, that was just a thing we had on television.
Yep. Think of that. Or if you happen to be from the right part of middle or western Pennsylvania, you saw Bud Dwyer shoot himself in the face on mid-afternoon television.
Yep. And there was, what was it? There was something happening to where a lot of kids were home from school that day. If it was a snow day or a teacher's day, I don't remember what it is. But yeah, during that broadcast, a ton of children were home.
And they broke into every network. So a lot of them were showing cartoons because it was like 3 p.m. Because he was supposed to tender his resignation, and it was like a big deal.
No, but instead he took out a revolver and blew the top of his head off on television.
Woof, yeah. I've seen that once. It's enough.
That's enough. It's more than enough. I also have probably only seen that once. I'm forever grateful for the Filter song that we got out of it.
Yeah,
I love
very good
Filter.
point.
Richard Patrick is great.
Filter's always, they're a good greatest hits band. I don't know if I need a whole album, but they always have a few bangers on each album.
I put them in the same folder as I put Faith No More, where it's like, they're better than you think they are, or better than you remember them being.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did see them perform at the Flying J Truck Stop Bar in Fargo, North Dakota. They were very bummed by how few people were there.
Oof. Now that I'm thinking about it, saw them perform at the venue. It might have, I don't think it was still Playmakers, so it was the venue in Fargo, North Dakota, and I was bummed for them by how few people were there. I watched Filter play their dicks off to about 14 people.
Yeah, that's same at the Truck Stop Bar. They put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, they're great. I like Filter a lot.
Yeah, they got jams.
But that was a bummer.
You know who else had jams? Buzz Aldrin. He's got moon jams.
Boy, you're Buzz really stretching.
Yeah. I wonder why Buzz Aldrin is always like the comic relief of the moonwalkers.
I think it's, and they make the joke here too, I think it's because he was second.
Yeah, that could be.
You could not be more, you couldn't be closer to being the most historic person. So you're the second most historic person.
And I think he was in the public eye more after his astronauting career was over. Like, I think Neil Armstrong kind of kept to himself, but like Buzz Aldrin and his wife would go to the Playboy Mansion all the time, and
He
like
lived. He lived like a rock star off of it in a way that Neil did not.
Yeah, so during all of this, the space shuttle is not just a dud with the Simpsons; it's a dud everywhere. So NASA decides, hey, we need to kick it up a notch, and we got to get some regular working Joes in here so people can relate. They realize this after seeing what the hit sitcoms of the day are, which is Home Improvement. It was Tim Allen accidentally murdering Wilson by running over the fence, and he goes, "Oh well, looks like it's back to prison for me." That's shots fired, because anyone knows Tim Allen did time in prison because he was a cocaine dealer.
Yep, and I think he only
on his
got out by
partners.
Rolling over on everyone. Yeah.
So when you hear him grumbling about what today's men are becoming, remember, when he was a young man, he was narking on his buddies because he couldn't do time after getting pinched for selling cocaine to people.
Yep.
A real moral arbiter.
In a real bit of serendipity, Zachary Ty Bryan of Home Improvement was arrested yesterday
for choking a gal.
For strangling his girlfriend.
Yep.
Good times.
I love the last season or two of Home Improvement where that oldest boy had his hair, had like that weird undercut with the tiny little ponytail in the back. That was like the juvenile delinquent haircut.
Yeah, like that's
Give me the boys' ranch.
That's the bad kid in every like movie.
Yeah. One thing I like too is they cut to Al Bundy as one of the role models. It's the typical, let's have sex. Al's like, no. And then he flushes a toilet that's just right, and the crowd applauds.
Yeah. I have never seen Married with Children, so I don't catch a single Married with Children joke ever. But I get the gist of it, that he's a fucking schlub. And
if people dislike it, I'm like, I get it, but man, I love it. It's so reprehensible. Like, it's a lot of the same reasons I like Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo. Like, they didn't even try to like make it an acceptable, decent movie. Like,
I don't think anyone's ever said that before.
Man, it's hot take city today. Population Nathan.
Not just that you like Deuce Bigalow, but specifically the
European
sequel
Gigolo
that even less people saw.
Mm-hmm. Very few. There's a reason there wasn't a Deuce Bigalow South American Gigolo.
Yeah, there's not a third.
Yeah,
he doesn't make it to space.
Yeah. So, Homer and Barney are chosen to be astronauts, or they're going to compete to be astronauts. And the Simpsons roll into Cape Canaveral like the Beverly Hillbillies, all strapped to the car. Marge is on top.
So weird. Why are they the Beverly Hillbillies for no reason?
Middle class family. Yeah, the dad's got a good union job.
Like. They're in this old car with Marge strapped to the top in the rocking chair. I didn't understand where this reference.
Yeah.
Like, I get the reference, but why is it here? They're not like moving on up to. They didn't strike it rich just now. They weren't poor before. Why are they?
That makes no sense, man.
I was befuddled. I was like at my television, like, why is this reference happening?
And I guess this episode is kind of like divisive amongst Simpsons fans. Because I guess some Simpsons fans consider it like a bridge too far. Like, this is getting too silly. Homer in space. Like, what's next? If he's in, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I can see it. It's like it's getting really, and they don't really address how silly it is that I know of.
Yeah, it is definitely the furthest that we've gone as far as like, because there are real small, quiet episodes of this show. And this is, like, I remember when we were back in, like, season 1, or maybe it was into season 2, where we did the one where like, Bart goes to France. And I even remember making the comment of, like, this is the furthest we've got, like, from home. Like, this is the most unrealistic that The Simpsons have gotten. And, like, now Homer's in space. With potato chips.
Yep, and then that's it. He breaks an ant farm, and there's ants and potato chips. And the camera picks up an ant as looking like it's man size, so that's when Kent Brockman quickly switches special alliances and quickly welcomes our new insect overlords.
Yep. Brockman immediately is like, hail the ants.
Yeah. So it's basically from that point, it's kind of like dumb Homer by numbers. Like, he's got ants everywhere, he's got chips everywhere, and they decide to open the hatch to clear out all the debris, and Homer, like, puts his hands off the handles and almost gets sucked out the door. He gets in a fight, and just by dumb luck, locks the door and seals the air hatch with what else? A carbon rod.
Yeah, inanimate carbon rod saves the day.
Which, it's so great when they do land, how the carbon rod is on the cover of Time.
Says, in Rod we trust.
Yep. Yeah, that was a great. Again, there's just so many great gags at this point in the show. The writing is real good.
This one, like, I kind of get why people don't love it, you know, because, like, especially, like, even just the setting, space is like the jump the shark of any franchise. Like, you know, fucking Jason got there eventually.
Yep. Leprechaun in space.
Yeah, like, in such and such in space is like almost part of the lexicon as far as referring to something really
shitty sitcoms. Yep.
Yeah,
or
like
sequels.
Jumping the shark. Yeah.
Yep.
So I get it, and also, like, Homer is, like, unbelievably stupid in this. You know what I mean? Like, not only is the premise of the episode so outlandish, but he is outlandishly dumb.
Yeah, real dumb.
Yeah, but I did like all the bits that they have, because it's down between, we don't know that Homer's going to be the one. It's down between him and Barney as far as who's going to represent the everyman in space. So they show the two of them, like, going at it through all these competitions, and, like, they take away the beer from Barney and tell him he can't have alcohol during the course of the testing. So he, like, has his shit together. Like, Barney is, like,
gets in
looking
great shape.
trim.
His hair looks nice.
He's got his hair slicked back. He's doing fucking, like, cartwheels and shit.
He's like a gymnast now.
Yeah, he's doing pull-ups, and then they announce that he's going to be the one, and they toast non-alcoholic champagne, and he completely turns into a moron again.
Yeah. His stomach comes back, his hair gets disheveled, he steals a jetpack and lands in the street.
Yeah, lands. Oh, God, that I thought was a great sight gag. So he's, like, coming in hot when his jetpack is crashing, and you see a giant building that says Pillow Factory, so you're assuming that he's going to crash through the roof and have a soft landing. But no,
that's on the street.
Skips like a stone across the fucking solid roof of this building, crashes into the street, and then is run over by a truck, and on the side of the trailer it just says marshmallows in big letters. God damn it. Just fucking murdered by the two softest things.
I think we get a glimpse of the potential of sober Barney early in the series too, when, like, they're teenagers, and Homer introduces Barney to beer. Yeah, he's like a straight edge kid,
and then gets a hold of one beer from Homer, and he's been this Barney ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like buttoned up, got his shit together Barney.
Yeah.
I mean, I like any Barney.
Dashing leading man Barney.
Yeah. I love something about the hair is what really sells it for you. He's got just this slick back, kind of long Gordon Gekko hair that I'm just like, spot on.
I'm into it.
Well, that's another batch, Nathan. Another one in the bag.
We're so good at this.
We really are. We're continuing to march through season 5 of The Simpsons. We have next week episodes 16 through 20 of season 5 of The Simpsons. We're almost done. We're almost done with season 5.
Yeah.
How are you holding up through all this bullshit? Are you still surviving your apocalypse up on the north side? You're not. We're virtual this week, so I'm not here to check in with you, buddy.
Just a lot of snacks, a lot of snacking, a lot of laying around, subterranean life. Not a lot of sun. A little lurking in the shadows.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, the real damp. I'm in my element, Marlin. I'm in my element.
Yeah, real. I picture your room has a fog to it.
Yeah. It's like when they get to the lower level in the Aliens movies, and all of a sudden the cocoon shit and Lieutenant Frost is like, don't touch nothing. We're too close to the cooling containment unit.
I just imagine there's just thick rolling fog about knee deep, like when the Undertaker comes to the ring.
The property owners are standing by the front door. We need to roll in 7 canisters of CN20 and nerve gas them out of there. We don't even know if it'll work.
I imagine a dehumidifier just taps out. Just
yeah.
nope.
Yeah. It's a dehumidifier. It looks like an outboard motor. Water just spraying out the back.
Like a fucking jet ski. It's too much. It's just shrimp water and ass fog down here.
We got a damp boy in a damp basement. It's bound to happen.
Your hair's always wet. Just get out of the shower?
Yeah.
No, quite the opposite.
There's just sump pumps gyrating on the floor everywhere.
Oh, God.
Spider web of electrical extension cords.
Well, I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you. Live, laugh, love.
I'm still watching horror movies. I thoroughly enjoyed one the other night that had been recommended a handful of times, which is The Green Room with Patrick Stewart.
Oh, very, very, very enjoyable movie.
Fuck me in the neck. That movie is intense.
Tense,
Oh, God. Ooh.
I love movies when, the worst thing the worst thing is the first thing that happens. So it goes from 0 to 1,000,000.
Oh, man. And I couldn't, I am such a fucking just a little girl when it comes to gore on film. I can handle. Give me the Hellraiser shit where they're tearing people's skin off. Doesn't bother me at all. You show me somebody getting stuck with a box cutter and I can't fucking handle it.
Or fucking with fingers is my thing. Fucking
teeth is a big one
too.
with me.
Oh, dude, there is a movie called Eden Lake that is amazingly good. So good. It has a pre-fame is it Fassbender? Is it Michael Fassbender?
Michael Fassbender, yeah.
Yeah, and he's not even the star. He's the spouse. And there is a scene with a box cutter in his gums that yeah, it is. And it's worse than it sounds, which is hard to do because that already sounds terrifying.
Oof.
Oh, Pass. It's a rough man. It's if you have a spot that you need to fill, Eden Lake.
I have a couple now actually because fucking some of these 80s films are not streaming fucking anywhere. I can't find Near Dark or The Entity anywhere on any of my streaming services.
Bad. Yeah.
I know a buddy who has Shudder. I'm going to see if I can borrow his password.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's on there.
That might need to be done. Oh, and it's free right now. There's a month free, too.
Well, maybe I'll do that.
You Google for a month trial, you'll get it.
3 month of Shudder. Yeah, maybe that's the way to do it. Do it free trial style, then cancel it.
Yeah.
Because I'm honestly not a huge horror movie guy. I just do this once a year because it's fun.
I used to be. Then the mental illness makes it hard to enjoy tense things because I'm very tense already.
I'm finding also that it's sometimes hard to get up the gumption, or not even the gumption, but just the energy to watch something horrible happen on screen when the world is the way it is. So
yeah.
When I went to watch The Green Room the other day, it took me a minute to be like, all right, let's watch this.
We're doing it.
Let's watch this thing where people are bad and good people get hurt. Because that's the world. So
yeah, well, is it ever?
But I'm trucking along and enjoying it. Mm-hmm. And today, I made fresh from scratch buttermilk biscuits that were delightful.
Oh man, buttermilk biscuits. Mm-hmm. That would be a nice little nickname for you.
I got the recipe from comedian Dave Stone, who is a hell of a cook and does a podcast with Kyle Kinane called The Boogie Monster.
That's why I know that name. Yep.
I can't recommend the podcast enough because it's great. And it's like a running gag on the podcast of like he gives out a recipe every episode. And I was like, I've been craving biscuits. Let's use Dave Stone's biscuit recipe. And it was dope. Easily the best biscuits I've ever had. So...
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for giving biscuit knowledge to the world.
Thanks for my new nickname.
Thanks for a new breath of fresh air to my entertainment career.
I'm thrilled about it.
How do they reach us, Marlin? How do the people let us know what they want?
You can get
what their desires are.
You can find us on Twitter at BarleyBasketUSA. You can email us barleybasketUSA@gmail.com. Another episode next week. Episodes I Lost My Place. Episodes 16 through 20 of The Simpsons.
Yay!
Season 5.
We did it. We'll do those ones too because we're tough.
We are. We're tough boys.
Yeah, very tough boys. Buttermilk biscuits and flapjacks.
Buttermilk biscuits and shrimp water.
Yeah. Oh, shrimp water, keep on rolling. Mississippi.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.